Assuming that students bring all of their prior learning to a lesson can lead to a whole load of issues with how students then access the upcoming sequence of lessons. I found it to be so important, especially with the impact the last few years has had on learning, to have a system that checks the skills that students know before starting a new topic. Whether you call them building blocks or prerequisite skills, the baseline assessment tool can be a great way of assessing students before a block of topic-based lessons. Scrolling down on the home page, we arrive at the interaction tools, where we've got the baseline test board. There are three main ways that a student can access the baseline test tool, either through a link, through a QR code that is scanned through their device camera, or a website link where they can enter the class code. Before students do this, one of the things we'll need to do is either create a baseline test or enter in the baseline test number that is generated when you've created a test. The test itself can be as long or as short as you like. To build a test, simply start searching for a particular skill. Click on the skill, and you'll then be given the options of how difficult you would like that skill to be. If you want to add more levels from the same skill, select the blue button here. This will duplicate the first box and allow you to be able to select a different level. Add another skill, and choose the level. Enter in your email address and click Create Baseline Test. When the test is being created, it will give you an ID number. This will be emailed to you, but it will also be copied into the box ready to submit to students. If you submit this to students, you get the message. And we're now ready to begin the test. For students to be able to access it, all they need to do is scan the QR code with their camera and click on the link. They'll then be prompted to enter in their surname and first initial. They'll then get a message to say that the test contains 3 questions. Then they can start answering the test using the keypad at the bottom. If at any point they're required to do some working, they should either do it in their book or they can actually bring up the toolbox and actually scribble on screen. In the meantime, as students begin to answer the questions, the teacher gets a live update on how well each student is doing. At the end of the assessment, students will be given a feedback screen that will show them the questions that they've answered, and where they've made a mistake, it will show them what the correct answer was. When all students are completed, we have the options to export the data as a PDF or into Excel. The Excel export gives a copy of the COVID board information. So here you can see every question is color-coded, the same as it is on this screen. The PDF report, on the other hand, copies all of the information from that assessment and provides individual pupil feedback sheets. It not only outlines how well every single student did with a particular skill, but for those skills where they require a little bit more practice, it provides up to 2 feed-forward questions. This is personalised for every single student. In order to help the process of marking this at the end easier, it also comes with the answers too. On this screen, we also have the option to end the student link and to be able to add additional students to the system. This is particularly useful if students have actually been answering the test on paper, and it's possible to be able to produce exactly the same test paper through the worksheet generator. Within the downloaded file, you'll have exactly the same skills that the students saw on the online assessment, and although the questions will be different, it does come with the answers too. The outcomes of the paper test can then be entered in. And the report can be rerun or the data can be downloaded. But the most important thing is that I now have all the information I need in order to make sure that I intervene with individual skills that require attention or ensure that there is challenge for those that need it.